I think it's, that change in thought process from like, oh, I got to go do the tough thing versus waking up and be like, oh, I have the opportunity to invest in an even brighter future. I have the opportunity to do even more for myself, for the people I care about, for the people that are close to me. I have the opportunity to do even more. That's a very different thought than, oh, I got to go do that tough thing. Like, that's a real loser thought. Everybody here has had that. I've had those thoughts. I suspect she might have once in her life. Everybody here has had that thought. It's really a loser thought. It's really a loser thought. Because that doesn't mean that it's power of positivity, reframe everything as positive. It's like, no, I mean, if you got hit by a bus and you happen to be alive but mangled, you would have been better off without getting hit by the bus. Better to not get hit by the bus. And, you don't need to reframe that as like, golly, I'm happy I got hit by that bus, or I wouldn't be high on this morphine right now. Like, I don't know what positive reframe you would put on it, but it wasn't a good thing, and you probably would have been better off without it. I knew I shouldn't have rode on that Boeing jet when the door falls off next to you. I knew I shouldn't have got on that 737 Max. It's only been on the news for years. No, when you fall out the window on your way down, you're not going to be saying, oh, this is fortunate. Like, my family's going to make a lot of money from my death here. Like, no, you'd be better off if the door just stayed on. So, yeah, some of those things are just stupid, where people talk, power of positive thought. But if it's in the realm of reality, I think you should have the most positive take on something possible without lying to yourself, without starting to get away from reality and create these fuzzy fairy tale stories or some shit, child stories. It's like, if we got to deal with reality, but you might as well have the most positive take on it that doesn't conflict with the facts. And it's not only like the power of positive thinking, but it's also like it's oftentimes is more accurate. It's logically or more valid to say like, oh, like I'm grateful I'm alive today, and I have the opportunity to get beat up by some world champion fighter or something, or get beat up by the business world a little more. Or, I always, my personality. So I told Ong, the guy, we never had this conversation, but Ong was sitting here and I said, oh, this is the guy that said that, liver kicks don't hurt, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh. And then he remembered it later and was still thinking about it. And like, probably don't do that to him. You're not going to like it. It wouldn't be a bruise, it'd be 2 broken ribs, and you'd be laying on the ground hyperventilating, wondering what happened.
Blood coming out of your mouth.
You know that your body like seizes up if you have like a strong impact to your liver. It doesn't matter how tough you are; it's involuntary that like your body just seizes up. You'll just fall.
Oh, I've seen it in the fights.
Yeah. Yeah, it don't matter how tough you are, or it's just an involuntary response. So you get a good strike to the liver. Yeah, it's not fun. You don't want that. Maybe a couple of broken ribs to go with. That guy kicks hard. We kicked the bag together different times. That guy kicks hard. He taught me how to kick harder. Yeah, it just I just reiterate what I just said in bullet points. Is like you want to have the most positive thought that's logically true. But it's very important to never get past logic or reason and start telling yourself fairy tale stories. That if you're building your life on false premises, that if you're lying to yourself about the foundational facts of something, then how do you have the best outcomes like that? So it's important to try to understand reality as objectively as we can, which no one can understand everything objectively. It's not the sort of creature, you don't have access to that information. A human brain, your senses have limited perception. You don't know what's going on with ultraviolet or microwave, or there's other things in your environment that your body doesn't even understand or detect. So you don't know everything that's happening in the environment. You can't anticipate the thoughts or behaviors of the other 8 billion crazy humans. But within the realm that you can, predict things with some reliability. Like use those foundational facts for, well, this is the sort of human that I seem to be, and this is how the other humans tend to behave in various circumstances. And given who you are and what you want and how other people tend to behave, and things like physics, or, medical science, like probably you need to sleep sometime. Probably not going to do well if you have 0 sleep for days. That's not going to work well. And how do we make progress to be who you want to be and do what you want to do in an optimal way? Which it might be suboptimal in the short term, in the sense you might feel like shit in the short term, but be really happy that you did that in the future. Maybe a few months in the future, maybe a few years in the future, but be really happy that you did those things. So I don't know, that's my couple of thoughts about it. What are your thoughts of this type of thinking?
But you see, like, the power of being a group of high performers, a group of people that are always aiming to achieve greatness in life, right? You come here and you see so many people trying to do amazing things, and you go like, oh, there's so much more I can do, right? The times I grow the most in my life are the times where I put myself in the middle of people that can kill me, right? Like, I'm retired from fighting, but I go train with a girl that's 4 times world champion training for the next Worlds. Her husband's 6 times world champion. Like, I'm retired from fighting, but I go train with people that can literally kill me just so I can get better in the thing I want to be better at, right? And like, for the past 2 years, my jiu-jitsu got so much better. I learned so much more about jiu-jitsu just because I'm putting myself in the environment, right? When I was fighting in the highest level, I was from a hometown in the northeast of Brazil, but then I decided to move by myself to the favela in Rio de Janeiro just so I could be around Jose Aldo, Renan Barral, like Glover, all those guys that were trying to achieve greatness, right? So like, you come here and everybody is aiming to be better and do better, right? And then you things click on your mind like, oh, I guess I can be and do so much better than what I'm doing, because people out there are doing it, But if you don't put yourself in this type of environment, then everybody around you are not trying to achieve the things you're trying to achieve. Then your goals get smaller, you feel less worthy, you're okay with just being okay. Later, being great, it's not what you really want anymore. You don't have that desire anymore. For some reason, it changed because you're hanging out with people that don't have that type of desire, right? So like, even when I come here and we have those high-level discussions, like, I go back home and I go like, there are things in my life that I still can fix to do better. You guys are all smart and you guys are all doing great things. Like, this is social learning. I'm learning from what is happening here, right? So I always want to put myself in the middle of people like you guys, of people that are doing great things. So I want to keep growing, right? So you have a mindset shift from seeing what everybody else is doing here and having high performance discussions, right? So this is just like an exercise to clarify that being around people that are trying to achieve great things will put you back on that mood of what you were born for, right? Like, we'll close that gap between the person you are now and the person you really have the potential to be. And this is one thing I crave in life. Like, how, like, with the circumstances I have in my life and where I came from, and with the language barriers, like, where can I go? What can I achieve? I'm always looking forward and trying to understand how farther I can go and how much more I can achieve and what I really have the potential to be. And I choose that path and work on it every day, right? So good job.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.